You'll see Wahoo products all over the Tour de France, from stage winners to the riders fighting for yellow, from the speed play pedals to the element bike computers. That's because the world's best trust Wahoo. Head to wahoofitness.com and see what Wahoo can do for your riding. A multi-mountain stage finally, Vingegaard pacing, but could Pogačar counter again like we saw on Tuesday in Pertus? We have the longest climb to start a stage so far, the Ballon d'Alsace in the middle, which we saw yesterday. So a lot of climbing in this stage. Then the Col du Haag, which is narrow, irregular, steep in places, but once again, not a true mountaintop finish, which we haven't had yet. It's 5 kilometers of flat on top. There was no breakaway in the first 12Ks. There was an intermediate sprint at the bottom of the first climb. Philipsen won that handily. I think Philipsen will win a stage, maybe even stage 21. But UAE, a lot more relaxed in break formation. They just let the break form. They didn't control anything. They let it go. Pidcock goes in the break again, and he's on 4 minutes 15. He's close in GC. EF and the other team's really not happy about him being in the break. So Steinhauser pace is full. UAE just set a firm pace behind. They ignore the break. They trust themselves to reel it back when they want to. But the break wants to get away from Pidcock. So VPP, he goes for the KOM on top of the first climb, Cat 1, and then you see these 5 riders, they all make a new move. Carapaz thinks, well, I'm not going to waste an effort that I've already done. The 2 Uno-X's were looking for EF to do it, and so Carapaz VPP continue. Johannesson twins go across with Healy, and then Castrillo pulls Rubio and Timon Aaronsman across, and all of a sudden, Pidcock's group, with 3 Visma Lease bike riders, Jorgensen, Armorel, and formerly Campenaerts, they're out of the race. So as the break had formed on the first Grand Ballon climb, it was already gone. And for Aaronsman, bad luck strikes. He got a flat tire. The breakaway, it's also bad luck for them. They needed another big engine in that breakaway. He waits, pedaling on a flat tire on the middle Col du Page. They do a quick bike change, but the break couldn't wait. There was still pressure from UAE. I think the maximum gap they got was 3 minutes 15. Armorel paces then that group 2 it was, if you don't count Aaronsman, kind of 30 to 40 seconds in front of a Nils Pollitt-led peloton. We had a descent that had pouring rain at the finish as well. We had pouring rain, and then it was bright and sunny when they finished later. There were splits. Vingegaard, Schelmoser, Ayuso, Seixas on the wrong side of that split. Pedersen sews it back together. And we got another climb. So it was up and down all day today. Ballon d'Alsace. Carapaz got his wheel the wrong side of Johannesson, but no bother. This is the climb indeed that we had in the breakaway yesterday, and Groschartner does a magnificent job on this. He pulls back the Armorel-led group, takes a minute out of them, takes a minute out of the breakaway, which is good riders. I mean, Carapaz, Valentin Paris-Prancher, Johannesson was pulling full gas for his brother Tobias. Healy pulled full gas for Carapaz. We get to the Col du Haag and Decathlon. They look sprightly once again. They pull with Benoit, a really hard start. They drop McNulty, they drop Piganzoli, they've got Ayuso under pressure. They have Kuss and Del Toro sliding, but Ayuso comes back. Pidcock is dropped, so he would lose GC positions. Martinez survives the hard start, but for Carapaz, it's just like on Pertus, very similar stage. Irregular climb, descents, not a true mountaintop finish. Now that they've all blown their doors off, can he take time back? Can he, especially with the descent in the middle, with Kuss setting a steady tempo, can Carapaz use that advantage to do his own pace and get over the top? It was looking like maybe, because Kuss stops, Lipovitz attacks, but then Vingegaard gives the word for Kuss to bring it back. Seixas responds, so podium threats up the road, Ayuso and Vingegaard being attacked by the guys who were in 4th and maybe 5th on GC at the moment. So Vingegaard looks back and then he just starts to pace. 4.5 Ks to go, maybe about 5 Ks for him on this climb. Looks back, sees Evenepoel under pressure, and so just continues pacing. Del Toro was on a little bit of a gap as well. Seixas looking pretty comfortable though. He never dropped the wheel. Lipovitz looked pretty good here too. Pogačar also, he didn't want to attack too early, apparently, because he didn't want to put Del Toro under pressure, because when he would attack, they'd all split up into groups. Johannesson comes back to Carapaz, but with 2.5 Ks to go, with Vingegaard just pacing, they're caught on this climb. They probably needed another minute, maybe. And what we saw on Pertus happens again as they get to the last steep 1.5 Ks. Pogačar counters from behind. Vingegaard does 3.5, 4 minutes, full gas, and takes time. Del Toro paces himself first back to The Seixas-Lipovic group, Remco was still on a gap at this point. Remco paced himself really, really well. He did a fantastic job on this climb, trusting the plateau on top. Vingegaard drops everybody else behind Pogačar. He holds it on 10 seconds, but then Seixas drops everybody else, and the young Frenchman's coming back to Vingegaard, the gap about 20 seconds on top of the climb. Both Vingegaard and Seixas suffering, and Del Toro, who was suffering like Ayuso at the start, is coming back to Vingegaard and Seixas. Both of them were pulling full gas. Seixas can move into third. He can take the white jersey off Ayuso's shoulders. Vingegaard can take time on Evenepoel, and he's chasing Tadej Pogačar up the road, who also doubles his lead on that flat 5K section, winning his 25th Tour de France stage in a very similar fashion to the Col de Pertus stage the other day. Del Toro sits on and then takes a gap on Vingegaard to the finish. So like then, where it was Remco, he comes second, UAE 1-2, Seixas third, Vingegaard fourth, and Evenepoel, he only loses 4 seconds because of he worked with Lipovic and Ayuso. So not big gaps between the podium guys once again, very tight, big gaps to Pogačar. Here's what he had to say after the stage.
Tadej Pogačar, it's for moments like this that we love cycling. I suppose it's for moments like this that you love cycling too.
No, yeah, today I must say thanks to all the fans that came to the side of the road. It was really something unforgettable, I think, to see all the crowds on the hills, on the top of the mountain. It's just I never seen something like this, and yeah, thanks to all. And I think also all the cyclists, all the riders, we have such a massive respect towards each other, and I think we all put on a great show. And yeah, it's nice to see this kind of racing.
A great show, and you were the best once again. Take us through that attack going up Haag.
Yeah, I knew that Isaac is not maybe 100% as him. So I was waiting for the last 2 kilometers to see if there's gonna be any movements, but actually Decathlon and then Jonas, they did really hard pace on the climb, and yeah, there was one by one guys dropping, and I felt good. So I said I will try the last 2 kilometers. I know very well. Also so much crowd that it just gives you additional boost to go to the top. So yeah, I give it a go today. I had good feelings, so I grab it and take the opportunity.
Tomorrow we have the Plateau de Solaizon finish, the first actual true mountaintop finish of this race. Really hard climb. Pogačar's got a 4-minute 30 lead on Vingegaard. He's got a 34-second lead on Evenepoel, who's now only got a 15-second lead on Seixas. What do you think the podium and top 10 will look like tomorrow? Can't wait for that stage. Hope you enjoy the recap, and I'll see you then. Ciao, ciao.